4, 3, 2.
This week on the Georgia and Daniel Show, join us for our interstate travels. This past weekend, as Georgia traveled to LaGrange for her cousin's wedding, and Daniel traveled to Iowa for his great Uncle Ed's memorial service. All this and much more coming up this week on episode 65 of the Georgia and Daniel Show podcast. Starts right now on SpecialChronicles.com.
Had a crush on me. How did I never see all that we could have been? High time we turned the pages, start a story for the ages. High time we got it going on. I know it's never easy for people who love anymore, but we gotta try. 'Cause you and I were meant to be. I love you, baby, and I know it takes more than words to show it. You are the one.
And we're live.
Welcome back to the Georgia and Daniel Show. My name is Georgia from Georgia's Kitchen Show.
My name,
And Dan's cutest true love.
and my name is Daniel, who this week knows his own name. Listen to last week to find out why I say that. Listen to last week's episode to find out why I say that. I'm Daniel from SpecialChronicles.com and Georgia's cutest to love, and we're back, babe.
Yes, we are.
We all know each other's names, and we know we all know our own names. It was a joke to last week's episode. I mean, some of us don't always know our name each week, so
I think that was episode 64.
last week's, yeah. So you guys go listen to last week's episode, and you'll know what we mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
You speak glad I know my own name.
Yes, you should.
Hey, I've got a lot going on. So, yeah. We're producing 2 weekly shows every week on this network, and yeah. But should we get the show? I mean, so it's been a week since we last talked to the listeners, and I'm sure all of our listeners want to know what's going on. But first, before we get to what we planned in the show notes, I want to clear some breeze. Have some clarifications. Because one of our listeners had texted me, and if you guys don't have our phone numbers, don't worry. If you're a listener and you just go ahead and just email Georgia and Daniel at special. What's that email, babe? What do we have? Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Daniel and Georgia at SpecialChronicles.com, right?
Yes.
Oh, Georgia and Daniel, either one. Yeah.
David.
So it's if you're watching the video on YouTube or Facebook, you see it on the screen. If you listen to the podcast later, look in the description below. Daniel and Georgia at SpecialChronicles.com if you want to email us. But for those of you listeners that have our cell phone numbers, babe, a listener texted me yesterday and saw a video that you did for me, and you were in tears. So you guys, if you follow Georgia on our Facebook page, I don't think it was on your Instagram, right? I think it was just your Facebook page. I want to clear some breeze out of the air so you all know, so we can clarify for the listeners, for all of our friends, for all of you listener friends, we can clarify why you did that. And I think I had texted her. I mean, let me see if I. It might have been I think I had texted her back. Let me see if I can find the text on my phone. So hold on.
Why are we talking about this?
I want to because I want to I want to let the listeners know that you did it out of emotion. There's not anything going on between you and me. I want to just clear the breeze. So
Okay.
So here's a text from the listener. Okay, I'm going to read the text from the listener. She said, "Did you and Georgia break up?" That's the text. And I want to, right off the bat, I want to let all you guys know, absolutely not. Right?
Yes, that is true.
Absolutely not. And so I said no. Well, what I just told you, all you listeners, is the same thing I texted back. I said absolutely not. And then this other text from this listener says, "Why was there a video of her crying about you?" I'm so glad to hear you're together. What a relief. And here's what I texted back. And to clear the breeze, I'm going to let all of you listeners know as well. And here's what I said. And babe, you can add your 2 cents after. But here's what the listener said. She was just emotional. I was in Iowa this past weekend. Got home last night at my great uncle's memorial service, who passed away in 2020 and was delayed a year because of COVID. I think that is why she was crying, just because she misses me so much when I'm away on a trip. Hope that makes sense. That's how our love is for each other. That's how you were emotional, because that's the deep love that we have for each other, right?
Yes.
So do you want to add anything to that to explain to the two? Hopefully, if that listener, I think, can I say the listener's name? Should I say the listener's name?
Sure.
I'll listener Angela. You know who you are. And for any of you else, any of you other listeners who may have seen that on Georgia's Facebook page, we want to clarify. It shows you the deep love that we have for each other. So do you want to add anything to that?
Well, yeah.
No, I'm laughing at a comment. I'll you want to add anything to that? I mean, was I correct by saying it shows the deep love that we have for each other?
Yes. Yes, babe, it did. Well, first of all, I would not have made a video in the first place. I was in a bad moment that night that you told me that you're going to Iowa, and I was really happy for you.
I thought you did that when I was still in Iowa. Or when I was coming back. Or when I was in Iowa. You did that when I was in Iowa. Okay, anyways, go on.
We haven't had a long distance relationship in a while.
A trip. Because I haven't been on any trips. I haven't been on any trips because of COVID. Okay, go on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We haven't had a long distance. Like, we haven't... Well, technically this past weekend when you were in Iowa, we haven't spoken since you were away. And I was in a moment where I was thinking about you. And then I found this song where this song was actually from one of my favorite movies, Moulin Rouge. I don't know if you guys have heard of Moulin Rouge, but it is a great movie. But the actual song itself, Come What May, that is actually the most powerful love songs ever created. And at the very beginning of the video, I was really, really crying the fact that I missed him a lot. Mm-hmm. It's been a while that he hasn't been on a trip with his family. I was here. I had no one to hang out with. And at that point, I posted the video that night with the song Come What May. And then when I opened it, because I didn't exactly watch the whole film, the whole
video that you'd posted.
The whole video,
Because
but then
you
when I
didn't.
opened it, everyone was commenting, and then when I saw the views, I was really surprised that everybody watched it. It had 35 views, but I'm not that type of a person who looked at the views.
Yeah.
But for that specific video was meant only for you and not for everybody else. So
then
I know
you should have just recorded the video on your phone and then just texted me instead of doing a live video.
Yes, I know, but I assume that you were busy with your family.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so should we just move on?
Yeah.
So one of our listeners, and this goes back to the comment that I said at the very intro, the very beginning of when we, after the theme song, when we welcomed everybody. So just like what, 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, this listener
Gary Maya.
said everybody knows your name. From, I don't know what that means. From Cheers, but
Okay, so choose means from England saying.
Yeah, I know. That's how I usually send my emails. But anyways, he said everybody knows your name. Yes. Oh, like what my sister Caroline said, we will meet in my mom's cousin's daughter. So that's my second cousin. I don't know. So anyways, she lives in Los Angeles. And it's been, at least for me, it's been like the last time I saw her was probably when I was 3 or 4 years old, so it's been quite a long time. Quite a long time.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time, and so she asked us, what about our jobs and what we do for a living, and all that. And one thing that my sister said, and keep in mind, just for the record, I want all you listeners to know, I did not say this, but my sister told. I think she's a second cousin. I'm just going to go with that. A second cousin. That I was a celebrity, because the previous comment was I had said that I was been podcasting for 13 years, and then my sister told our second cousin that I was a celebrity. So I guess maybe everybody knows my name. I don't know. If you guys are new listening to this podcast or this live show, then yeah, there we go. But I'll get into a little bit more about my trip to Iowa in the next segment. But babe, you want to kick it off and tell us about traveling to LaGrange? I mean, I wasn't in LaGrange Park. I wasn't in this area because I was out of state. That's why the title of this episode 65 is Interstate Travels on the Georgia and Daniel Show podcast. So you traveled to LaGrange for your cousin's wedding? Yeah.
Yes, I did. His name is cousin Matt Nablock, and he just got married just recently. Actually, on Saturday. I wasn't there because I wasn't invited, but this was the actual party. And he married my new sister-in-law, Sarah Holloway.
Sister-in-law? You mean cousin-in-law?
Sorry, thank you. Yes, that's what I meant to say. She's my cousin-in-law.
Yes. Cousin. Okay.
And, she's from England. And I never had a cousin who was actually from England, which is pretty cool.
A cousin-in-law from England. Okay,
That's what
go on, babe. I'll stop it. I know listeners love it. Don't love it when they do. Anyways, go on.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I was more interacting with my family than I thought. One of my uncles was in town. Sorry, my bad. One of my cousins came into town with his husband. And then I talked to a lot of people, and then we had a impromptu concert down in the basement of their own house. and they were singing very fun love songs, and I was the only person who took a lot of pictures that night, and all of them were on Facebook. If you guys have a Facebook account, please go into my account at Georgia Hunter, if you guys know. All of them are on there, so please
if you guys, if you want to get a direct link to Georgia's Facebook, go to the show notes, specialchronicles.com/GDShow65, or just look in the description below. You can find the show notes and just click on the Facebook link underneath Georgia's name. Yeah. All of our social media is linked in the show notes. Yeah, anyways, go on, babe.
And it was a lot of fun. It was more involved with my family, and it was a taco party, so we had a taco truck, and it was just a lot of fun. So.
Awesome. So before we get to, we're going to try to keep this episode short, right? So before we get to my trip to Iowa, should we take a show sponsor break? And right. So you're listening?
Sorry. You're listening to the Georgia
and Daniel Show on SpecialChronicles.com. We'll be right back after this.
Stay tuned.
Break. Stay tuned. Yeah. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. StreamYard is the easiest way to create professional live streams. StreamYard is a live streaming studio in your browser. Interview guests, share your screen, and much more. Stream directly to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and other platforms. Sign up for StreamYard and get 10,000 credit with our referral link at specialchronicles.com/StreamYard tutorial. Once again, that's specialchronicles.com/StreamYard tutorial. All of us at Special Chronicles love StreamYard. And our co-hosts and our guests, it's easy for them to join the show. They just click on a simple guest link, and they're in the broadcast studio, right in their browser, on their computer, or their phone, or the tablet, and it's really simple, easy. So all of us at Special Chronicles love it, and if you want to get $10 in credit, when you sign up with StreamYard, you can use our referral link, specialchronicles.com/StreamYard tutorial. That's specialchronicles.com/StreamYard tutorial. And back to the show.
Hello, everyone.
We're back. So my trip to Iowa was for my great uncle at memorial service. So he had passed away in 2020, June of 2020, so about a year ago, and it was delayed a year because of COVID. And so we had family come in from across the country. We had cousins. It was all on my mom's side, but so my great uncle was my grandma's brother. So we had cousins coming in from everything from Southern California to Washington D.C. and Virginia from Pennsylvania. Cousins coming in from aunts and uncles. Coming in from the Twin Cities, from the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. I had a cousin coming in from Omaha, Nebraska. Let's see, where else people coming from? Just some all over the place. And then, my mom and sister and I, we came in from Chicago area, Illinois.
That's a lot of cousins.
Yeah, well, distant cousins, but yeah. It was the actual service was at so my great uncle was cremated. Is that how you say it? Anyways, it was at a Lutheran church. So we drove on Friday. It was and then we had. So I'll briefly recap the weekend. So we drove Friday. We kind of somewhat caravan, with my aunt and uncle and cousin and cousin's husband, I guess. Yeah. Because they live in Oak Park. My aunt and uncle don't. My aunt and uncle flew in from Pennsylvania. Anyways, so we kind of caravan. We got to the hotel. Originally, they gave us the wrong room, but they didn't. We had stopped for lunch at this place called Freddy's, and after we had stopped, I think my stomach was a little upset for the rest of the Friday evening because of where we had lunch. So I blame that Freddy's, because of my uncle that wanted to eat there, and so kind of blame that our stomachs were kind of a little bit upset because of that. So, anyways, but I had with one of my other uncles who lives in Minnesota. He got me a beer, so I had a Guinness. I forgot what beer my uncle had, but we in the lobby of the hotel. So that was that. Then we went out for pizza, and then we came back to the hotel. And then the next day, my mom and sister and my cousin and aunt, we all went on a walk around what the state of Iowa, what people in Iowa call a lake. It was actually a pond. So I know for all of you guys, if there's any listeners, if there's any Iowa listeners. You guys don't know what a lake is. It's a pond. So I probably just offended all of Iowa in listeners. Hopefully not. You guys get it. Wait. It's a pond in Iowa. It's not a lake, right? It's a pond. So So then we got dressed, showered, went to the service, and then after the service, there was some tears, but anyways, not for me, but you get the idea. Anyways. Then there was like it was a sheet cake that we had, and we had some coffee or juice. And then my cousins and sister and I went out for coffee at just a local coffee place because we wanted to get coffee. And then we came back to the hotel, and my aunt and uncle had some alcohol, so there was like some beer and wine. But
oh my god!
Well, because it was like a cocktail hour that we were having. It was after the service. After the service.
That's totally different.
What you thought we were having? We were having alcohol during the memorial service. No. In the church.
I wasn't going to say that.
Okay. Anyways, so we were about to have it at the patio. So outside of the lobby of the hotel, the Hilton Garden, I'll just say it, the Hilton Garden Hotel in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Anyways, so so there was a bar in the lobby of the hotel, but outside of the lobby of the hotel, there was like a little patio. So my aunt and uncle had some coolers, and we had some alcohol because we were having a cocktail hour out there. But then one of the staff from the hotel who came out and said, well, we have a liquor license at the hotel, and you're not allowed to have your own alcohol out there. So, in other words, we got kicked out of the patio, and we ended up going to my aunt and uncle and cousin had like in a hotel you've got like a double, how like there's like a door in the middle of two rooms, like a double door. And so, so we got kicked out of the patio of the hotel, and we all went up to my aunt and uncle's and cousin's room, and we had our cocktail all up there. And then after that, we all left and went out to dinner at the brown bottle. Not the yellow bottle, the brown bottle.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
It's a restaurant in Cedar Falls, Iowa. I feel like I've run there before, but anyways, it just looked familiar when I was there. But
Gotcha.
I made a joke saying, like the brown bottle, it's like when you go to the bathroom, it's number 2. So it wasn't the yellow bottle; it was the brown bottle.
Okay, I don't think we should reveal that joke during the show.
Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, I know. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna text my mom. We have to wrap up the show because my mom's gonna be here pretty soon. So, so anyways, long story short, the dinner there was a lot of food on the plate, and we went and had there was a lot of food on the plate, and we had what do we have? Well, there were some speeches, like my mom read a letter that my grandma had wrote to my uncle, and there was some music. We were kind of laughing because there was like some music, like some Backstreet music playing in the background because we were in a private room at the restaurant, and so we were kind of joking that it was like that. So,
Okay.
but I mean, everything she said and everybody else said about my uncle was good. But yeah, my mom read a letter that my aunt wrote to. No. My mom read a letter that my grandma wrote to, because it was my great uncle was my grandma's brother. So my grandma wrote to her brother. So, but yeah, it was nice. And then we went back, slept, and then in the morning we all had breakfast and then left and came back Sunday. So, really quick 2-night, really quick weekend to Iowa. So to celebrate the life of my great uncle. So there we go.
That's really awesome. Man.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time. Usually we play some sponsor breaks, but should we just do a quick sponsor break and then wrap up the show?
Sure. But
Okay,
yeah.
we'll be right back. Support for Special Chronicles comes from listeners like you. As an independent public media podcast, Special Chronicles will always be there for you. Now we're asking you to be there for us. As a nonprofit independent media organization, we can only make programs like Special Chronicles with listener support. Our programs provide weekly, candid, honest, and inspiring conversations about the people with disabilities community that creates awareness, support, and advocacy within each week's episode. Listeners tell us our shows are an enjoyable and necessary podcast for the intellectual and developmental disability community and everyone else who is able to listen to stories about life from a different angle. Please, if you and your family love our weekly podcast, make a one-time, monthly, or annual gift of thanks today. Support this podcast at specialchronicles.com/give. That's specialchronicles.com/give. Support for Special Chronicles comes from ComEd. Special Chronicles is proud to partner with the ComEd Energy Force Ambassador Program. The Energy Force is the country's first energy efficiency education program designed for and taught by people with disabilities. ComEd is powering lives and really is powering us here at Special Chronicles to keep the lights on and our technology is powered on. As ComEd powers the lives of us, they're literally giving a voice to people with special needs. We thank ComEd for the generous support of our mission at Special Chronicles. Learn more at specialchronicles.com/ComEd. That's specialchronicles.com/ComEd. We're back on the Georgia and Daniel Show. We're about to wrap up the show, but we want to just briefly let you know how you can get in touch with us here on the Georgia and Daniel Show. So first, babe.
You guys can follow me on the gram at PeachGeorgia22.
And you can follow me on the Insta at PodmanDan. That's PodmanDan at PodmanDan. You can follow both of us on the Insta and the Facebook.
At Daniel and Georgia.
And you can tweet us on Twitter at DanielGeorgiaS, #Georgia and Daniel Show. You can follow this network, the Special Chronicles Network. SpecialChronicles.com is where you can go follow us, subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to all our podcasts. If you like this show, the Georgia and Daniel Show, then you also love the other podcast that I produce, which is the Special Chronicles Show. You can find that on SpecialChronicles.com and then click on podcast and you'll find a link to the Special Chronicles Show. Also, the Georgia's Kitchen Show, you can go SpecialChronicles.com, click on podcast, and then click on the Georgia's Kitchen Show. Right?
Yeah.
Did I miss any updates? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and just email Daniel and Georgia at SpecialChronicles.com, Daniel and Georgia at SpecialChronicles.com. Or if you are watching this on YouTube or Facebook, you can leave us a comment in the comments section, right below where you are watching. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a positive review and rating. Goes a long ways. That's another way to get in touch with us. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Just look up the Georgia and Daniel Show, and you can leave us a review there. You can also DM us on Instagram or Facebook at Daniel and Georgia. You can as well. We already said tweet us, or you can reach out to us personally on Instagram or on the Insta at PeachGeorgia22 or at PodmanDan, and we would love to hear from you. Finally, a comment from one of our live viewers.
My favorite friend, Eliza Gonke, says, I love your show. She calls me Jessie because I'm Jessie from Full House. And she thinks that you and I are a very cute couple.
Well, thank you, Liza. We love you too, and thank you. We're glad that you love this podcast.
See you at swimming.
Yeah, and this show. Question. One final question from one of our listeners, Sheila, says, "Hi guys, are you supporting the Special Olympics duck races and sewing them?" And again, that is what, this Thursday, August.
That was actually
5th?
last Thursday.
No, this Thursday, August 5th.
Oh.
Trust me. If you listen to the Special Chronicles show, we did a 3-part duck derby series, and no, I don't think, Georgie, you're not. I'm not. This year we are not. Sometimes some years we do, but this year we're not. So, yeah. So there you go. So thank you to all of you listeners for listening. I have to get going. Do my laundry.
And so am I. So
yeah. So you guys, we'll be. This is a little shorter episode, 30-minute episode, but we'll see you next week, right here.
I'm the Georgia
and Daniel show. And in hold on. I feel like the video might be a little frozen, so once it unfreezes, I will click the button to I'll click the button to the outro for the show so I can get off this episode. Is this stuff frozen, babe?
I can hear you, but you're frozen.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Am I back?
Yeah.
I still think it's a little delayed. So hold on. Get the beach ball, but once I can click the button, I can wrap up the. I just want to click the button so we can end the episode.
Okay. Well, I have it on mine. I can do that.
You have the button, so you logged in?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to click the outro? Well, hold on. Maybe I can do it now.
Do you want me to?
Okay. Should we just sign off?
Yes.
All right. So thanks all for listening.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
See you soon on the Georgia and Daniel show. She's Georgia. I'm Daniel. And we'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Come on. Bye. You want to click the button, babe? Maybe I did it. I'm having a difficult time ending the show.
I got it, babe.
No, I don't think you... Did you?
Yes, babe. I just did, just now.
No, the video clip. This is outro. The GD show. Come on. Oh, did you end the broadcast? I think we ended the show. There we go. We'll just end this.